just noticed that the volume of the computer was on. Well, anyway. feel like playing the Xiangi melodies, but better I open the sheet music. Hello, Cylindrical Cake. Welcome. How was your stream yesterday? I was totally dead by that time. I was sleeping. How was your stream? Was good, made a lot of new friends. That's wonderful. Yes, I saw that you reached 250. Very good. Congratulations. I was just practicing the Mythos melodies, just because also thinking in adapting those for Erhu. I'm going to try the track of India, because that melody is kind of easy for the register of the Erhu, so I don't need to do much changes. Okay, I think enough. Since this is repeated so long. What are castillos and do you speak Castellano? Castillo is castle. Yes, the sentence is in Spanish. It says, I like castles. yes, I visited one Arabic castle in my province some time ago, more than 1 year ago, and I got this T-shirt. They also sold helmets like this helmet. I am seeing myself in the screen on these kind of helmets. They sold like souvenirs, but I didn't buy any since I went there in a bus and I didn't want to carry things. But it was nice. I could do streams using a helmet, but probably it will be uncomfortable. Just wear it in the bus, yes. I didn't have that idea before, but I think it will be very heavy. If I go another time, maybe I will get the helmet. If they still sell it. I'm going to try that melody. By the way, have you seen the art gallery? Do you like it? I'm going to speed this. My Valerie was very funny. Nice, nice. What is your favorite artwork? Don't say me the perfect card and it's your favorite artwork. Un moment, yes. That is my favorite too. Yes. It seems more people also say me that a movement is the best. And that sentence that was like also made me want to design my house to look like that. You want your house to look like a horror movie? That sentence I wrote for the bike. That was like riding a bike and not moving is more depressing than not riding at all. wish I would show that art gallery to to teachers or owners of art gallery just to see the reaction. Like I was thinking maybe if I show this to a professional, they will say that it's a joke and I have no idea of doing an art gallery and I'm laughing at their job. But art can also be we live in a world that art can be everything, and art also laughs of things, even of itself. So I think my art gallery is valid. Yes. At the beginning it wasn't going to be a parody, but when I started to write the ideas for the artwork, like the story of the artworks, then I had clear that it was going to be a parody. Maybe I should use the movement artwork as a real artwork. Like maybe I could sell movement. What do you think? Do you think someone will pay me $1 million for movement? How much would you pay for movement to have it in your home? You may never know who needs to throw their money because they don't want to pay tax. Yes. But there is a condition. If someone gets my movement artwork, unless but if you buy it, you cannot clean it. You have to place it in your home, but don't clean it, because with the dirt is the original artwork. If you clean it, then it's not the same artwork, so you can't clean it. And of course, you also can't use it because it's an artwork, so no, don't use it. It's only for seeing. I think if you buy it for that price, the transportation will be more expensive than the purchase. So maybe it is not worth. So you have to pay more. No, it is very worth. Why? Because maybe you can resell it when it has more value. It's an investment, right? It is an investment. You can get it now for for 50 cents, but maybe in 10 years it will be 5 millions, 5 million euros, right? Yes. You know, the other day I was playing piano and practicing with the black keys only, and I think I should also memorize how to do pentatonic scales in Erhu, because as I play with my ear and I don't know really the notes. Of course I know this is La, this is Re, but if I want to know the notes I'm playing, I have to count, just as if I am a baby, like Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. So playing scales in Erhu is hard for me, because I don't. You need to go practice. Yes. But what do you think is the best way to memorize scales? Because what I have found is that I have memorized the scales that I have used for composing. It's harder for you because you use fixed do. What do you mean by fixed do? For other scales outside of the do major and such, pentatonic scale is easier if you use movable do. Oh, I see, I understand. Oh yes, pentatonic scale is easier because you always have tones. Oh no, not exactly that. Forget that. But I'm thinking how to say. I know that for the melodies that I have used in Mythos, that I play in piano, I have pretty much memorized them. Pentatonic Chinese scale is Do, Re, Mi, Sol, La. Yes. So between Mi and Sol there is 1.5 tones, or even Do, Re, Mi, Sol. Yes, La, Do, Re, Mi, Sol. Yes. So that is what will confuse me. Like, for example, but on Erhu I will have to start with Re if I don't change the tune, because this string is Re, Mi, Sol, Re, Mi. I'm trying to visualize with the tab, because that's how I move even on Erhu. So Re will be 0, I'm going to write it in chat. Mi will be 2. Yes, but I need first to visualize at least the introduction, if I explain. But you can tell me how you do if you don't have fixed do. How do you do it? Re, mi, sol, la, and do, la, do, 3, but I'm going to put this. This is a whole lecture. Do you have resources? So I could learn when I'm not streaming, but movable do is the whole basis of Chinese classical music. Okay, I will research about that then. And when I was playing the black notes in the piano, I could play Molly Hua, just with those notes. So it's perfect for that. Let me see if the notes are the same as those I have written in the chat. Resources are difficult, most of it is in Chinese. Okay, I accept the challenge, I guess. Well, I will have to see the sheet music to be sure. But anyway, if with Movable Do, I could. A very straightforward question. If I learn how to do this off Mobile Do, then I could play pentatonic scale in Erhu without much effort. This pentatonic scale is so useful, you can ever play music of the Incas. I see. Yes. Do you have any Inca song in your song list? What I do with Erhu when I am improvising mostly is playing the same notes that most of the songs that I play. I know one song in Quechua, but not in my song list. Oh, maybe you could add it. You will practice and add it. I think most indigenous music of the Americas use the same pentatonic scale. Yes, it doesn't surprise me. What was the music that used more than semitones? It was the Arabic. Like the music that used more notes than the Western notation. More than semitones, like maybe I'm not explaining well enough. Do you understand what I mean? Using more notes than the Western notes. A lot of music do that. What cultures? Well, with Erhu I could also do music like that, but it's hard. Arabic, Turkish, Persian, Chinese. I'm going to try, but I think I will sound not on tune. Maybe if you play music from Guangdong, for instance, they use quarter tones. Quarter tone must be something like this. Okay, so I think that is going to be my new excuse when I when I don't play on tune, and if people say, why don't you play on tune, you must practice, then I will say, no, I'm playing correctly, I'm playing quarter tones. But people play quarter tones on purpose. Yes, I know, but I will do a mistake. Oh, do you remember that I was asking about a tripod because I wanted to stream myself writing Chinese characters. So I tried doing a kind of tripod, but even if it is kind of possible, it has a very big disadvantage, and it is that I can't put, like, for example, if the phone is in here and I want to put the phone closer to show a detail, I can't do that with a homemade tripod. So at the end I had to buy one. I remember when I learned the good saying, there was this one song with a lot of quarter tones. My teacher kept making me do that again and again. Making the quarter tones. It is like something is falling. Yeah, but you cannot slide down, that's cheating. No, I'm not sliding down, I'm playing the notes. Oh, you mean I can't slide like this? I have to play the... But how you do that? Unless you have extremely slim fingers, how do you do that? You have to play directly, but you mean playing one finger, one note, and other finger, another note? And that's even possible? Like, your fingers are too big to play quarter tones like that, I think. Well, there is a technique that I remember reading that was something like the fingers are doing like that. I don't remember well how this was, but it was like you pull the fingers at doing kind of slides instead of just moving. I don't remember now. Normally when you play quarter tones, you don't play the notes around it. Oh, I see. Well, it is hard for me sometimes to hit the correct note thinking in a tone. So I think hitting the correct note in a quarter tone must be extremely hard. So for example, we never play C half sharp. Yes, I understand. We go C half sharp straight away. Yes, yes, I understand. Finding that note must be extremely difficult. It's possible with a lot of practice. Yes, but very, very hard. Finding any note is difficult on the Erhu. Well, I think after a lot of time playing, it's not that difficult. Well, in here, yes, it is difficult, I agree. That's why people take a long time playing accurately. Yes, yes, of course. Especially in that part. In this part, it's hard. But it's hard because the notes are very very together, if that makes sense. So moving the finger a little bit, well, I think doing quarter tones in this part must be impossible. unless you have baby fingers or something like that, I think it is impossible, because the 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 smallest movement in here changes the note. So I don't know if you know someone that can play quarter tones in this part with precision, tell me please. I'm sure it's doable. Well, I think I want to play Erhu good, but I think I won't spend time doing that. You just need Asian style classical training. I think I don't want to go through that. I wonder if there are Erhu masters in China that can play half quarter tones in the part here with precision, like playing C half sharp, and then the next note it is like La half sharp. I don't know. I went through it. I think I turned it out okay. You did on Erhu. Probably you did on instruments that. If you did on what instrument you did it, because that will change a lot. On the Janjin and Gusen, okay, but in there and Gukin, let me see in one moment. I don't visualize Gukin, but probably it is. Okay, but these ones you did the quarter tones in what string, or you had special strings for the quarter tones, because it's like if you have a piano and the piano have more keys because the keys also include the quarter tone, then that's cheating, because you just press a key and it's the quarter tone on the good end, but then you have a string that is a quarter tone, right? I don't know if I explain good enough. How do you do quarter tones on the guseng? I thought you bend the string to get a quarter tone. Oh, okay. So if you are playing a melody that includes quarter tones, you have to pay attention to bending the string in the precise moment. That sounds very hard. I should find the piece and show you. Sure. I think today I'm just going to improvise random things on the Erhu. Unless you want a song from the song list, but I don't feel much like playing songs today. I just want to play random things. Yes, I think it's good because it's when improvising you get the freedom that you don't get when playing fixed melodies. So and it's good to make you like to feel liberated and do whatever comes from you. going to check. I'm curious about it. It's very interesting how he does. It gave me all memories of inaccurate notes. But it's very, very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing. I'm going to save it. Very nice. That tune can be played on Erhu too if you want a challenge. Well, I think I will play it, but without the quarter tones. Or not, because as I don't play completely on tune, maybe it happens the same as when I try to do the ricochet, that I do it on accident. Maybe if I learn that Kusen song on Erhu, I will play it perfect. What do you think? Maybe I will play it perfect just because as I don't play completely on tune, I will play it perfect on mistake. I will search the sheet music for another time. Yes, I'm curious to try. But I will. I just said I'm going to search the sheet music, but how is going to be the sheet music if it uses quarter tones? How do you write that in sheet music? They just write like a normal note, but below it says play all the 7 as between T and T flat. I think I understand. Well, it's a good idea because I was thinking in creating my own notation, like a kind of mix between tab and Western notation and Jampu. Maybe I could include in this notation a way to write also quarter tones. It is a project that I have been thinking for many months, but I don't find the time to sit and put it correctly. Also, all the fa is between fa and fa sharp. So between mi and fa, that there is no semitone, there are quarter tones, right? At least there will be a quarter tone. There is already a way to notate quarter tones in 5-line score. Do you have an example? I would like to see that. Me and Fa can have a quarter tone if you want, yes. Well, if you don't have you don't have to search for it now. You can, if you want, if you have an example or you find, you can share on Discord. No need to search right now. Like half a sharp, yes. Yes, I understand. I understand. Very interesting. I wonder how that will be on a piano. Like, I just wonder. I'm going to just do a quick search. Piano with quarter tones. Probably it exists because everything exists in this world, I think. And yes, it exists. We should all do like Turkish music with how they divide the tones. They divide with quarter tones, right? There are 10 divisions between do and re and their music theory. Okay, I think that's too much. I think that is too much. How are you going to play that? They have 10 tones. So if you want to play a melody that is like do, do 3, like do tone number 3, and then you go, for example, do 7, how do you play that on an instrument? Especially on a stringed instrument, how? They won't do that. Then why create that? So they might play do 5 and then mi 3, for example. They can play that. I think adding same as Western music, you won't always play so and so sharp together all the time. Sure, but then do 5 and then mi 3, for example. How do you play that? What kind of insane precision is that? How can you play 10 tones for a single note on a stringed instrument? Use your ears. I think, but what kind of fingers can you have? I mean, this is a note, but if I want to play 10 different notes between this and this, well, I think it's, yes, I think I get it. It's normal human fingers. But then I wonder, can you distinguish the notes? Like if you hear, like for example, imagine that you hear a musical piece of this weird Turkish music and you have to write it on notation using your ear, listen it. Can you detect these impossible tones? Can you detect that? Is there any person in this world that can transcribe this kind of Turkish music accurately? I can hear them if I'm calm enough. Wow, amazing. I think if you can hear them, then you must have listened a lot of Turkish music. And they don't use it music in traditional Turkish music anyway. Yes, I imagine that. I still remember my times when I was a teenager trying to hear the bass when I was listening to songs or the drum, the kick of the drum. I have very good relative pitch. But it's like when I was a teenager I had a lot of ear training. Yes, I see. I remember when I was teenager and was struggling to listen to the kick of the drum or the bass. Of course, I hear it without problem, but in those times, it was my kind of challenge. Like trying to identify this because they can easily be confused, especially if you don't have good earphones or speakers. But um, identifying this kind of tones and quarter tones and such must be like God level. No, you just need to have one teacher who makes you play one bar of music over and over again for 15 minutes. I don't know if I want to have a teacher like that, honestly. But yes, I guess it works. If it worked for you, I've been learning this tune on the Jansin and I still do the play one bar for 5 minutes thing like my teacher used to do. I when I learn songs I can't do that. When I get stuck on something I just say I stop practicing because the more I practice the more stuck I get. Like when I was practicing this part of the horse racing, how it was. You know that second part. If I practice that for like 15 minutes non-stop. The more I practice, the worse it's going to sound. So my way of practicing is I practice a bit until I start feeling that I'm doing it too much wrong, and so I stop and next time I continue again. And currently I can play that part very good compared at least to the beginning. But I don't know how to play it by memory. I use the sheet music, so. Oh well, I remember at least that part. I remember it. I played it so many times. Well, if I can play it by memory, then that means that I will play it better with time, because so I don't have to concentrate in the sheet music. Not bad, not bad. Look at you becoming trained the Chinese way. Trained the Chinese way. What do you mean, like, with that? Do you mean like practicing the same piece many times, or do you mean learning by memory, or how? How do you how do you mean? I want to learn the songs by memory, but there are so many songs that I'm very lazy. You play something over and over again until you memorize it. Yes, I want to do that, but I'm very lazy. If I can remember a song by memory, it is mostly because it plays the same notes all the time. Like, for example, the moon represents my heart. I memorized this without any effort, just because it used the same notes all the time. So it's called attaining kung fu. What is that? Attaining kung fu is play over and over again until memorize it. Interesting. But I think for memorize it, kung fu means you do something so many times you become a master at it. Oh yes, I understand that. But it happens for me when I pay attention to the structure. Like I have even the same plan for memorizing Chinese characters. My strategy is going to be, first I want to learn the radicals, so I can identify the same radicals in many characters, and it will be easier for me. You can even have kung fu with sweeping the floor even. Yes. But if I don't find a kind of logic in the thing, it's much harder for me. Like, memorize just for the sake of memorize it doesn't work for me. I need to memorize with logic. So, for example, I have played a lot of time this Arthas Invincible song or the Dragon Ball GT song, and I don't know them by memory. Well, maybe the Dragon Ball one, yes. Not completely. I don't remember many things. I had some small errors, some small parts that I don't remember well, but yes, It's worth learning maybe the most common characters because they make 80% of characters. Yes, and also I was researching a bit that the radicals are like 200, around 200, and if you learn those, then you can learn characters much faster. So I'm going to start with those, and once I have those 200 characters learned, then I will see others. Then I will start with others. Even not all the radicals are commonly used. Well, I will start. And then I will start focusing in what I will consider that are the most common, I guess. Do you know more or less how many that will be? Probably 150 or 100. I will check the HC. Okay, I will check it. That is for the exam, right? So they have a list with the most commonly used. Nice. Then I will check that. I will finish the stream in some minutes. I have some things to do. So, if you have any recommendation for who to rate, it is welcome. I would like to rate someone new. But no, not many of the channels I follow are online, and as I say, I would prefer someone new. Okay, then I'm just going for something random, I guess. Good luck. Yes, I will rate. I want to rate someone that doesn't have many viewers and that I don't know before, but probably it will be a bit hard to find. I don't know. I just found a channel that maybe this is a bit interesting. I think I'm going to rate this one. You can stay for the surprise. I'm going to do it right now, and thank you very much for coming. It has been a very interesting talking today, so thank you very much. And let's see how this person is. Thank you very much. Let's see how this streamer does. Let's see, I don't know. Let's see what it is.